Hey guys, welcome in a renewed Peugeot 208. This car is a major success for Peugeot. In only a couple of years they sold more than 1 million Peugeot 208s. Last year the E-208 was the most popular electric car in its segment here in Europe. So you could kind of say the car doesn't really need an update, but they did give the car an update, but it is more like a facelift, because last year they gave the car a technical update. And this year they basically changed the exterior design of the car. Now in a minute we're gonna look at the exterior design of the car. Let's quickly address the technical update that they gave the car last year. So since last year there are two drivetrains for the E-208, so the electric version. You can get a 50 kilowatt-hour battery pack and a 136 horsepower electric motor. But there's also a slightly bigger battery pack and a slightly more powerful electric motor with 165 horsepower and a WLTP range of just above 400 kilometers. That's the car I'm driving right now. So what is new on the exterior design of the renewed E-208? You get this new wider grille with of course the new Peugeot logo. The headlights still have the same shape as on the outgoing model, but the inner workings is a little bit different, and get these completely new daylight running lights that are a little bit of a nod to the claw of the lion from Peugeot. There are some new wheels as well, 17 and 16 inch. And if you go for the GT version, like I have here, you get these black wheel arches. At the back you get some new tail lights with some new inner workings as well. You get these horizontal LED strips instead of vertical LED strips on the outgoing model. At the back you also get this new E logo, and on the hatch the Peugeot logo is removed and now it says Peugeot just spelled out in letters. The trunk capacity is still identical, 263 liters. In the interior they didn't change that much. You do get a bigger infotainment screen, so now you get a 10-inch screen instead of a 7-inch screen that you got as standard in the pre-facelift model. But basically everything else is still the same. So you still get the iCockpit here with the small steering wheel and a digital gauge cluster above the steering wheel, which is a little bit of a funky setup. You really have to get used to the fact that you're looking over the steering wheel to the instrument cluster. You still get some physical buttons here, some cup holders here in the center console, and then a little cubby space just beneath the armrest. There are some new materials, I believe, like this fake carbon fiber that you get all around the dashboard, and you can get some green stitching on the GT version that I'm driving right now. The driving experience is identical to the outgoing model. This is still a pretty sporty car if you go for the electric version. Now you can also still get petrol and diesel engines as well. For example, there's a 1.2 petrol engine producing 75 and 100 horsepower, but you can also get a 1.2 mild hybrid version that produces a little bit more. It produces either 100 or 136 horsepower. Now, like I said, the driving experience is identical. It's still a pretty sporty car. Again, if you go for the electric version, the petrol versions are a lot slower than the electric version. The electric version is actually the car to go to because this is the most fun car to drive, especially because you get the instant torque, making this a pretty zippy car. It is definitely not the fastest electric car out there with only 136 or 156 horsepower, but it is plenty for a car of this size. Now there are a couple of drive modes. You got Eco, you got Normal, and you got Sport. You get this little drive mode button here in the center console. I would advise to put this car always in the sport mode, because only then you get the full power output of 165 horsepower in the car I'm driving right now. And that is just the right amount of horsepower that you need in a car like this. You don't want less, and maybe you don't want more. This is just the right amount of horsepower for a car this size. But if you put the car in Eco or Normal, the car will turn down the performance of the electric motor. You will get substantially less horsepower. So just put the car in Sport, and then you get the right amount of horsepower that you need in a car like this. So that's it for my first quick impressions of the renewed Peugeot 208, and then specifically this electric version, the E-208. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and then I'll see you in the next one.